Hey guys, what's going on? Another Mystic season. Gonna be fun, right? We're doing this super serious video with no editing whatsoever. I am joined by my cohorts, Lily and Peaches.
Greetings, comrade.
Howdy do.
What's up? And we are just going to kind of go through the teamaroos and talk about them kind of one by one. Maybe give like a little rough grade after talking about them. No particular order. Just gonna go on order of the dock. And when we're done, we're done. So hope you guys enjoy a really chill, laid-back video. Just talking some mods.
And we'll skip the two clowns at the start of the
Yes, we
roster
will.
page.
Yes, we will because we don't care about them
They're nerds.
and idiots. So who wants to take wolf
So
turrets?
true.
I can go first.
Okay.
So Wolf actually has a real team for once because Fuzzy and him were doing a little thing on the side where they were drafting each other's teams. So with that in mind, this is not a theme team. There's no actual randomness to this. This is a real team used by the Wolf turds. That said, he has some amazing threats, in my opinion. Garchomp, Zoroark is going to be very interesting, but I feel like it's going to be a huge threat in his hands. That new Ghost normal typing. Renew Nicholas is going to be a setup monster. I hear he's very familiar with this mon too. He's got Passimian, which is a very powerful low tier fighting. Magmortar is a strong ass fire type. And he's got his Rotom, his designated Rotom that he has on almost every draft. Skarmory, Blastoise, and Scolipede are all going to be threats and problems for people to deal with. Now, build-wise, I could be wrong, but I think he does cap speed-wise at Scolipede, which is a bit of a yikes. Hazard-wise, he's got Skarmory, which will be very reliable. He's got Garchomp, he's got Trapinch, he's got Scolipede, of course. Plenty of offensive answers, a lot of strong physical attackers, good special offense too. Pivoting might be a little low, but he does have mons that run their pivot moves pretty reliably when they do come, which is Rotom and Passimian mainly. Zoroark often runs U-turn. Cramorant, as Fuzzy has lied to us about, does not get flip turn.
It's U-turn though.
Does it get U-turn?
I want to say it does.
There was a whole debacle about this not getting U-turn in Poop Fuzzy's league.
Oh no, it doesn't get U-turn. Never mind.
Yeah, I
You're
didn't
right.
think it did. No.
It's
Feels
a
like it
weird
should.
one. You would think, wouldn't you?
It fits though. It fits for the type of mon it is.
Yeah, this team has a lot of good threats. The speed is probably its biggest negative, though. Weaknesses wise, it might have a bit of a minor fire weakness. Blastoise is a mon that can be worn down pretty easily. Not to mention,
I was
it's
thinking,
a
I was thinking Ghost was pretty bad too.
ghost. He does have the Zoroark though.
Alright, but like Dark Pulse is a problem, and then Grimstar doesn't have good special defense.
That's true, but it does 4 times resist dark.
No, I was saying for Ghost, and then a lot of Ghosts like get dark coverage, I would say.
Oh,
So for
Yeah.
Zoroark, they get good dark coverage, and then Grimstar himself isn't the best, especially defensively.
that's fair.
And those
Overall,
are
his
the only
special walls
two.
are kind of lacking.
Yeah, those are the two really answers I can think of. Looking at this team.
Yeah, special walls, Ryu, and Blastoise basically.
It's just kind of what happens when you draft a more offensive like Ghost. Like you're, I don't know, it's weird. Like I would say like a team like this with, I'd say the same thing for like Gengar. Like it's obviously it's going to be able to, it's very volatile because it's going to be able to pressure Ghost really well with Grimmsnarl, Zoroark, but at the same time, like certain mons and spec Shadow Ball coming your way, it's gonna be hard to deal with.
Yeah, typically I try and go offensive dark, defensive ghost, or vice versa when I'm drafting those types.
Something like that. I mean, it's volatile when it's just offensive, but I'd still do it. I've done it plenty of times.
Yeah, when do you want to take it away then?
Oh, okay. I can go for good old Trexo. Sorry I got a bunch of moves banned on Genesect. That's my bad, Trexo. Didn't mean to.
Just shift gear and rock polish.
My fault, dude. Nah, but this team looks fun. It's got like a couple of type redundancies, I guess, like flying and steel. I guess those aren't terrible type redundancies to have, but they're there. Water as well, with like Quagsire and Volcanion, but they don't really share any weaknesses, so that one's not as big of a deal. I think it's really hard hitting for sure. We get to experience how good Lilligant is, because we're like looking at calcs that are crazy, like two-shot. It's either Corviknight or Skarmory. One of the two,
Corviknight
like,
can,
the
Banded
kick.
can two-shot with close combat.
Or close combat, we didn't give a kick. Or I guess especially you didn't give a kick, because again, you're insane. But
Hi.
yeah, this is like a pretty offensive team by the looks of it, right? Like you got Jen, you got Lily. I would say Metagross is both a good, like, it's either going to be really good defensively, it's going to be good like in the middle of the game, or it's going to be a good cleaner with rock polish. Aerodactyl's really good at finishing games. Moltres should be good at finishing games. I wouldn't say Moltres is as good during the game, however, because a lot of it's designed to take hits, set up, and win. Torkoal will make a ton of sense on this team.
Chlorophyll Lilligant,
I know.
I think is the idea.
I know.
Ah.
I know. Now that you say that, I know. I didn't know that at first. Now that you say that, I know. I just wanted to make it look like I know, and I was going to make up a reason, but I couldn't. Yeah, so never mind. I guess that makes some sense. I don't have to like it, though, to be fair, and I don't.
Yeah.
Yo, looking at it now, it's actually really Scald weak, too. It's actually good that he has 2 Water Absorb mons. Wait, no, Quagsire doesn't get Water Absorb. I'm thinking
It
of the
does.
Astrodon. Oh, it does?
Just
It
usually
just
runs
always
out of
run.
water.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
He's got 2 Water Absorbers, which is good for so many like physical threats and Genesect and Lilligant, Metagross. So that's pretty good. It's also pretty like speed gappy as well. Like Mega Aerodactyl's way up there, and then I think it's like Moltres next or Genesect.
Lilligant is 105.
Frostlass 110.
Oh, sorry, I didn't see Frostlass there. I forgot it's Mon. No, but okay, even in that conversation, it's still a huge speed gap.
Oh,
and if
sure.
your opponents just don't prep for Aerodactyl, like trying to outspeed Aerodactyl, you can just run like Modest and Adam and beat 350. 130s can do that. 125s can almost do that. Talonflame can do it at 126. So, just kind of slow, kind of like the last team. Hits really hard, though. Should be definitely threatening. Plenty of good setup. Not crazy good removal, but it's there, like with Wheezing. And I was about to say Arrow, but I'm off the wagon of Arrow's a good defogger. I'm done. I'm not going to say that anymore. Might have been true like in Gen 6, but it's not true anymore. The game has passed me by now, but yeah, I like it. It's just a little slow, some type redundancies, and really offensive, so look out. Nothing like his PDL team, Mr. 200 turns. Oh, all right, moving on. By the way, whenever you're talking about Wolf, my mouse was literally in the center of the screen like a moron, so I hope that OBS doesn't pick up my mouse.
It was sexy.
I said I was gonna. Okay. Shane, I'm gonna do next just because I just scrolled down because I'm lazy. So what do you got for
That's
me?
easy.
Oh, you want me to take it?
Yes. It is your
All
turn.
right, cool. I was expecting Fuzzy, so I was looking at his team. But
Let's do Fuzzy. We're doing Fuzzy. We're already at Fuzzy.
Okay.
We're already at Fuzzy. Sorry, Shane. Sorry, Shane. You got baited. All right, let's go, Fuzzy.
Fuck Shane.
All right. Fuzzy's team, it's an interesting team. Knowing that it was drafted by Wolf Turds and not knowing anything about Wolf Turds except his name's kind of funny, I don't really know what to really expect from this team. Cinderace, pretty solid tier 1A, a very good just cleaner end game. Hard to play around with that Libero. And Just looking up and down the draft, got a lot of good like tanking options with Swampert, Chestnut, Corviknight, Florges, just really hardcore to break. Nothing really gets through everything in that sense. He does have a lot of quad weaknesses stacked up between Swampert, Nihilego, Chestnut, Articuno, which is not something I like to do too much, but they're all different weaknesses, and I'm sure his other walls like Corviknight and Florges will help make up for that. I'm really excited. I want to see Weird Deer do something. This mon got completely shat on by Game Freak. They did not give it any speed. They gave it less speed than Stantler. It's just terrible. But I want to see it do something cool. Maybe you can make that happen here. Um, Sap Sipper is really nice for Swampert on it, so that's definitely a plus from that. As far as like concerns, the rock weakness just a little bit. Does have Swampert and Chestnut to make up for it. But other than that, just kind of a fat team. I believe Cinderace is the fastest mon at like 117, or am I mistaken?
119, I think. It's weird.
Oh, I was close. But yeah, not the worst speed tier to have as your top, and Persian Alola coming in right behind it at 115. So not too bad. Sticky Web 2 abuse that too, so he can kind of make up for his speed there. Has good priority to compensate. Yeah, overall solid team. I kind of would like to see hazards on a few more mons, but yeah, there's boots and defog literally everywhere, so it's not really a necessity at this point. Is there anything you guys want to add?
He's got a decent amount. He's got webs, he's got spikes, he's got T-spikes, he's got all the hazards, just
Oh, right, Nihilego gets T-spikes. Yeah.
very specific mons.
And it's just a limited like number of mons as well. Like anytime that you kind of commit to a steel type that doesn't get rocks and it's that expensive, it can be a little hard to recover. That's kind of the price we pay for Corviknights and Celesteals and things like that. Last thing I was just gonna say is like on the speed, like we always advocate in this league for a good speed ladder. So you don't necessarily have to have the fastest team, but like if there's a good ladder
Right.
for it, then that's the best. So people can't abuse natures. And I'd say this team relatively did that, but you're right about it not having like a 120 or above. That will be a problem just for opposing teams. Like
Cinderace is close though, 119.
very close
Yeah.
for sure. It's just unfortunate that he's gonna need a scarf to outspeed anything that's above base 120 naturally, like without setup.
Well, he's got webs, is what I was saying. Like he can.
Or without setup, I was gonna say webs or
Oh yeah.
like
True.
scarf. Yeah,
Or like Dragon Dance Hackers
exactly.
or something.
Yes, exactly.
He's also got a thick ass team, so I don't know if he needs to worry about outspeeding.
That's
That
true,
too,
yeah. That's gonna be
because
so hard to break.
it's just bulk offense for sure, right? Like it's got plenty of
Yep.
things to punch holes in things. It's got switch-ins for those things. Like
I actually
Mhm.
kind of like how bulky this team is because it helps these mons not just be defensive but run other sets.
this is the type of teams that I used to try to draft, so it's pretty good. All right, ready to go to
Yeah.
Champ Lando?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
This
you will.
was my week 1 opponent, so I had a good look at this team already. This team is a lot of offense. It's not quite hyper offense because there are options for defense on here. Bulu can go defensive, stack a Tentacruel, Koba, Claydol, even Kangaskhan. But it's just if on first glance, it's just a lot of mons you typically see fill an offensive role on most teams, and I think that can be what makes or breaks you week to week. As I believe, as you showed in our match, Tentacruel, you did bring the Tentacruel. I believe specially defensive. You did bring a bulkier Bulu. I think you were Wish Kangaskhan because you did have Protect. So you acknowledge that while it's not the most defensive team, you do have defensive options. And you do have really, really powerful offense. Kieran Black is going to do mad work week to week. It's just that kind of mon. Zeraora is a great speed tier. Not much is going to outspeed in this meta, but having a you do have Talonflame, and then you go down to Cobalion, I believe. So you kind of have a speed ladder, but it's a bit of a wonky high speed ladder. But 142 is one of those tough, or 143, I believe, actually, is one of those tougher to fill gaps. Removal wise, it is kind of just Tentacruel, Talonflame, and Skuntank, I believe. Claydol too. And hazard wise, it's another one that's kind of sparse. You got Galiss, you got Claydol, you got Stacka, you got Tentacruel, Cobalion. All mons that, aside from Tentacruel and Claydol, should fit it on their week-to-week movesets. It's mons that usually like to run other moves instead. Pivoting is really low on this team, actually. I think it's just Talonflame and Cobalion, Zeraora, and Claydol. Unless we want to count Golisopod exiting out at 50% HP.
That's
Which
not
is
ideal pivoting, but
it's not ideal pivoting, but
It
it is
works.
That has
pivoting.
got to
You
be
need
the
it.
fakest pivot you can get.
Especially since some abilities don't even activate it. Like if you get hit by a sheer force move, you stay in.
oh yeah.
It's just a
Yeah.
very offensive team.
Apologize if we hear my girlfriend in the background at any point during this, but
We love her.
yeah. I got Mega Kangaskhan sniped from me from this guy, so I'm mad at him. But yeah, it's a pretty good team. I think Lily's just top tier analyst guy, so I don't have much to
Yeah.
add.
My thing is, while I feel like he has to play very, very offensively, because while some of the bulk options are good, like Tentacruel is amazing special wall, Stack Attack is a good physical wall when it's not like a fighting or ground type, but even then it can still take him on really well. My only thing there is the only real recovery comes from Roost Talonflame, which ideally isn't one of your walls, but it can
Right.
do the job, I guess, with Flame Body. Or Wish
Grassy
Mega
terrain.
Kangaskhan. Alright, that's like 6% though every turn. And it's only
Not
at 5
with
turns.
leftovers, it becomes 12%.
Well, okay, with leftovers. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like to effectively wall, you want like some sort of like mon that's clicking recover, synthesis. One of those moves that you don't need to have Bulu on the team for. You don't need to,
Yeah, this
count
is a
your
very easy
turns,
to wear
right?
down team.
I mean, are we just pretending like Rest Claydol doesn't exist, or like is that what we're doing now?
Are we going to pretend Kyurem doesn't get Roost?
Honestly, bro.
Oh, I forgot about there's gonna be one thing I overlook on every team. All right, Roost Kyurem is
I
pretty
always
alright
forget
for that.
Roost Kyurem is a set, to be honest.
So I always think it gets defog, not Roost. I'm weird.
I don't blame you for that because it gets like fly and shit.
Yeah.
And
It does have wings.
And I mean, in terms of longevity, it at least offsets it a little bit with like Wish Kang.
yeah,
But that requires a ton of setup, right? Like that requires getting in a whole new mon, clicking the button, and then Kang doesn't get that healing, so it doesn't get to heal from the punishment it's going to take clicking the wish, because I'm assuming you're
Yeah.
going to attack it. So yeah, I get you. It's not like crazy durable. I build a lot of teams like this though that aren't crazy durable. It does bite you in the ass a little bit for longer games, but typically a team like this, like you guys said, you just want to get your pressure early, get your Zera in early, get your Kyurem in early, and just clean up fast.
yeah, exactly.
Something I did notice while prepping, this team just hates fighting.
Fighting types? No way.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, it's fighting resist have like
Doesn't.
2 defense, so then
Yeah.
and it's
That's what I
Claydol,
mean.
which is god tier. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, for sure. But he hates knockoffs.
I also hate Claydol. So we ready to move on to Kamala?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have another one of those speed situations I noticed because we got a Celigor, then Sneasel, if my math is correct.
What about it?
So that's fine. Mr. Ursaluna.
Ursaluna.
Ursulina, Mr. Ursulina lover, loves this
Mr.
thing.
Ursula.
Yeah, loves this goddamn thing so much. Well, you got it. I feel like this team hits hard as fuck, right? Like,
Yeah.
You're not wrong.
for sure it does. And we allowed, like, the Shadow Tag Gothorita stuff, right?
Yeah, it has it.
That is, that is just really good tier 5 value, for sure. It's not his only psychic either, too, so I like that, because
Yeah.
you don't have to rely on that to be your psychic type. But other than hitting really hard, it also has decent, like, it has, like, good pivots, like good mods that get pivoting moves, but not a lot of it. You know, like Inferno. I think Gardevoir might get Baton Pass
It
or
gets teleport.
Teleport as well. I was gonna say that, like, it definitely gets Teleport. I just don't know if you want to click Teleport with a mon like Gardevoir with like 60 defense.
Mm,
But hey,
Yeah.
There's a
if
fly
you're
in here.
if you're in against a
Needs to
special
be killed.
attacker,
Mhm.
apparently there's a fly.
I'm
And
glad that was in the recording.
I don't think Empoleon gets flip turn, right? Like that didn't
No.
get that.
No.
Yeah.
Dragalge has it.
So you're looking at Dragalge, I was gonna say, Silvally, Aselgor, Zapdos, a lot of like lower tier stuff, right? And
Right.
then some. I thought I said Infernape first, did I not? I'm on drugs,
Not in
guys.
well, you said it before, but not in that sentence.
Yeah, I'm on drugs. But yeah, it's
I
got.
could tell you called Zapdos
Hot.
low tier.
I did.
And Silvally.
Well, I was mainly referring to Dragalge, Aselgor, and yes, Silvally, because it's not actually a tier 2.
Wow.
Hot take, right? No, but so it's got good pitting for that offense for the most part. I think that the team is very clearly not defensively centered. It does have some pretty good stuff, like Empoleon's cracked now, for sure.
Yeah, Roost.
Oh, right.
And Silvally's really good, and Zapdos is obviously super fat. But it's just not much outside of that. I don't consider Dragalge necessarily like defensive mon or a wall by any means. It's just a good breaker that substitutes speed for a little bit of special defense and supports a lot of key weaknesses. So I don't really like the defense that much, but I don't think that's what this team was centered around. It's centered around getting on pressure, like trying to break things with I'm gonna call it Ursa for the rest of this segment. Break things with Ursa, try to like get set up with either Infernape or maybe like a little bit of Sneasel, like Swords Dance Sneasel, and kind of just try to hit hard and win games. It's very much like the last team in a sense. A lot of teams are wanting to try out some of the newer mons, and there just weren't a ton of defensive mons added that were new, so we're trying to draft a lot of more offensive stuff. And overall, I would definitely say it's a team to look out for and to prep for. I don't love the lack of really good rockers, though. I always say that when it comes to, and before I say that, there is like Empoleon, which is really good, but there's also Infernape and Torterra, and
All the Gen 4 starters.
yeah, it's just not
Props for that.
insanely ideal that the Gen 4 starters is your entire Stealth Rocking core, That's not ideal. Unless Ursa got it, but I don't think it did.
No,
I thought I
No,
looked through and I don't
so.
think it did, yeah.
they did not bless it.
So, yeah, I would just say maybe pick up a few more hazards, right? Initiative's fine, like I said, it's like 5 I think is enough.
The knockoff weakness is pretty huge.
That too,
Yeah.
especially
I think
sporting him on like
that
Hoopa.
that mostly comes from him just having 3 psychics, right? He has
Triple
Gardevoir,
psychic.
Hoopa, and Gothorita.
And
And
hey,
Omega.
I feel like
Psychic Stovali too, look out for it.
oh my bad. Yep, right. I don't think he needed both Hoopa and Gardevoir. Well, like I feel like he could have picked up like a Pure Fairy or Pure Ghost.
I think
I'm trying to figure it out too. I'm not gonna lie.
I believe he mentioned he was considering swapping Hoopa to Cursula, but wasn't sure.
You do that. Just do it. Just do it. That's fine. Cursula also gives you more special defense.
And another rocker.
Like
Yeah,
Zapdos
help.
is your only physical wall, but who cares, right? Who needs physical walls?
Empoleon can fill the
Yeah,
role.
with Scald, it can work.
I just feel like that Amon with that big of a weakness to basically fire, fighting, and ground. Just not the best physical wall and turrets typings. That's all the best like physical typings.
I guess that's fair.
Yeah, and it's so many moves get coverage earthquake. Like so many, I just said moves. So many mods get coverage earthquake. So many
So many
mods
moves too.
get coverage drain punch, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, I just think it's gonna be a team with some problems. But you got Ursa, and that's what you wanted. So get 6 kills with it per game and prove us wrong, right?
Big Bear gonna fuck.
Yeah, we said we were gonna give grades. Fuck that, we're not doing that.
No,
Listen to
No,
the
we
analysis.
haven't.
it's too
Look-
late now.
Listen to the analysis, bro. Make your own grade. F- on all teams.
That's
Except
fair.
Fuzzy, he gets an A+.
Is it okay to talk about Shane now?
Yes, it is.
Is that
perfectly
okay?
Okay. It is perfectly okay.
Am I
Talk about
overstepping
Shane.
my boundaries?
No. We're back to Shane. I like how it ended up on him anyway.
I was thinking that too. I was getting very excited to make this joke. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
You had to wait with bated breath, Shane.
All right. I love Melmetal. That mon is really awesome. I hate Inteleon, so that cancels it out completely. Your team is mid.
Whoa. Why do you hate
I
Aerothorn?
completely forgot about that because I was asking him for like draft advice like forever ago, and I'm like, I want to get Inteleon. He's like, stop talking to me. Like I think you said something along those lines. Like you hate it so much.
Yeah. No. I mean, it's a good mon. Like I won't like be so against it that it's not like that. I'll just say, oh, bad mon, blah blah blah. But he has it with Swallow, and they're both kind of just fast special attackers that don't really take a hit. So it's a similar role with different typings there. Same with Electrode, I guess. I haven't seen Hisuian Electrode in the off season I participated in or anything you guys did with PLA before this. So it'd be cool to see that do something. I don't think it has anything crazy in its move pool. It's just like Energy Ball, Thunderbolt, Volt Switch, and probably like what, dual screens too.
We gave it Pollen Puff for grass. Frozen
Oh,
grass.
okay. Pollen Puff is cool. Gets both the electric and grassy terrains with and weather ball, so I guess it can have coverage there against like a sun team or a rain team or something.
Yeah.
That's neat. Um, yeah, overall, this team just looks solid on paper. The hazards a little lacking because it's Prinplop. Overquill gets toxic spikes if I'm not, and regular spikes too. Or
That is correct because Quillfish gets those things.
Yep.
well, I mean, it evolves from a different Quillfish, so. But yeah, I see it.
Yeah, but that's why we gave it to him is because like typically, except Sneasler didn't get knockoff because I guess it's broken. But then whatever.
Well, it
It's
evolves
not.
from a different Sneasel.
Yeah.
Is that right? No, listen to me. What do I know?
I take it you didn't play PLA.
He did not.
All right, so it all makes sense. But yeah, hazards. It's between Overquill, Palossand, and Prinplop, which I don't like being restricted to bringing those mons. Like if he wants hazards, he has to bring one or two of those mons.
He got
So
Roost Prinplup, so I'm interested to see how that works out in Tier 5.
yeah, and Violet Prinplop might just make a comeback with the very budget Defog Roost, Scald, Stealth Rock. Very like nice budget pick there. Um, Other than that, I'm just kind of looking up and down the weaknesses. He has a few ground weaknesses, but he has quite a few ground immunities just to cancel that out, which is really cool. Um,
A lot of his defense is ground weak, though, which could be a problem.
well, Palossand not so much, but yeah, it's not really like taking like a Swords Dance Excadrill or something that's already set up.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't have too much else. Offensive rocks could be an issue, like rock, just Stone Edge rock coverage in general. Really, there's like a
Yeah.
Lycan rock. He's gonna struggle versus that because of a lot of speed, a lot of things, and it'll have Accelerock and or anything really just with like Rock Blast too to get through Dragonite's multi-scale really fast is gonna be something he's gonna have to think about in prep.
I think he thoroughly believes in Prinplup though.
I agree.
I briefly saw that it came week 1. I didn't really
Yes.
look at the game too
it
much,
was
but
named Surfs Up.
all right. I mean, I'm here for
Fire
it.
name.
If we're gonna support the Empoleon, we gotta support the Prinplup too.
Do we? Do we really?
I mean, I'm choosing to.
It hasn't been good ever. so I don't.
Hey, this is the first season with Roost.
I suppose so. I guess add recovery to anything, and it's good now.
True.
For sure, man.
Give it to Spinda, and we're fine.
He also has Recover Gardevoir, for whatever that's worth.
No, he doesn't.
Uh,
Yes, he does. No, he doesn't.
Yeah.
I will say Mega Gardevoir with Aura Spear and Ice Beam now.
Because
Well,
it's a
more-
mega.
More Aura Spear.
I'm
I mean, it's just
I'm sorry. I'm like, I thought we already talked about Gardevoir.
no. That was on the other team.
Yeah, it was on the other team, but now we're talking about Mega Gardevoir.
Yeah, I mean, both Gardevoirs really like with now having access to Aura Spear and Ice Beam. It basically has Lottie's coverage, aside from like Dragon moves.
True that.
But
And with Fairy coverage added in.
yeah, fairy coverage and stab. It's gonna be a real big threat.
All right, good team, man. Fuck them up with Melmetal and fuck them up with Electrode. Because those are the only two mods of note. Moving on. I guess because Peaches wanted to do it this way. Okanai, let's get it, Lil. Or is it me?
No, it's me.
Oh, it's you. Okay, I will.
This is the team with the most Hisuians. I'm
Yup.
interested to see how that works out. I feel like Therian is going to be Namor's Therian is overpriced at the moment because re-looking at its stats, base 74 HP with its bulk actually is not all that great, especially considering it's only base 42, I believe. It's slow.
Speed.
We did give it slow U-turn, which is neat. It does have Draining Kiss and Calm Mind, but it has no ability. It has kind of just acceptable bulk. I feel like it's more of it should have been 2A upon reassessment, but that's neither here nor there right now. It'll probably be a problem. It still has base 135 special attack. It's gonna hit hard. It's gonna be a tank. Basculegion is a absolute breaker. As we saw week 1, if anyone didn't see it, this mon dealt 70 damage with a banded Aqua Jet to a Darkrai, which not the bulkiest mon, but it does have base 90 defenses, and that is a base 40 power move.
It was 70%. Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
That's pretty good.
Very strong.
I like the webs on the team because it's not the fastest team. It does have a base 120, luckily, but it's not a. It is Mega Pidgeot, and he already does have. Well, actually, they kind of cancel each other out because Namerus gets no flying moves. Pidgeot does get the flying moves.
Isn't it 125 though?
Pidgeot is 121.
121. Interesting.
Yes.
So weird. Fuck that.
Indeed. This team is very fighting weak. Like, if you get rid of Enamorus, you kind of just run through with close combats, honestly.
You trying to say Avalug's not going to wall that?
It's rock ice, so no.
But it has 200 defense. Do the math.
It does gain defense. Funny enough.
He could
From
switch
the
into his rock type intimidator to ignore the fighting types.
Rock type intimidator?
Or is it not going to intimidate now? Is it a different ability?
No, I think
Oh,
it's
Arcanine. I completely forgot that mon's part rock
Here,
type.
I thought I was being intelligent.
Speaking of, I think Arcanine might be
you're right.
the biggest rock type to date. It does not get stealth rocks. I can't think of a single other rock type that doesn't get stealth rocks.
I mean, I'm sure there's one out there.
So Valley Rock. I found it.
Alright, you got me there.
Got him.
You win this round. This team actually is pretty thick though. Decidueye is built bulkier than normal Decid. Blissey's a Spadef wall. Basculin has a high HP stat, which could or could not come into play. It might just be speedy most weeks because 78 is a pretty acceptable speed stat. Mudsdale is at thick of course. Gudras actually bulkier than the original and might debatably have better typing.
I think it has better typing, but just not on this team where this man went out of his way to draft so many Hisuian mons that he took the two bad ones, the two that got worse.
Hey, to be fair, it is one of his 3 Hisuians that can click Toxic.
God, I just cannot stand
All right.
Decidueye.
I like the ideas, the possibilities it brings. 112 physical attack is a decent trade-off, but the speed loss.
Somehow still butt though. It's weird.
The speed loss is what kills it. The slow U-turn is cool, and it is a spiker for whatever reason. I think
Yeah.
it will be interesting, but maybe not that great in concept.
I've been told by somebody I really respect in Pokemon that Gudra Hisu is the best new Hisuian.
Enamorus is right there.
But they say Gudra's better.
And we also got Sneasler and Ursaluna. It doesn't even get Flash Cannon.
We also got Primal
Gudra.
Form for
Well, in your
Dialga
opinion, it
and
doesn't get Flash
Palkia.
Cannon. In others' opinion, it does. So
Flash Cannon was literally a move tutor in the game, and they decided not to pass it on. I don't know what to say.
Yeah,
I mean,
like
I'm sure there's logical reasons why it doesn't get Flash Cannon, but here we are.
I'm sure
Oh.
other leagues give it Flash Cannon. I decided to stay true to the game. It sucks, but it is what it is.
Yeah, it still got drafted highly, I will say. Like,
Yeah. Round 3, I think.
yeah.
Round 2.
I mean, what are we gonna say though? It's basically a fully Hisuian team with a couple of mons. Like, of course, not gonna have great synergies, and of course, it's gonna be missing key roles. But it is a gimmick team, right?
I think it is, yeah. He got Hisuian Muck.
Speaking of most Hisuians, ready to talk about a team with no Hisuians?
Oh yeah, fun fact. I believe 5 people decided not to partake in the new Mons. If I recall.
There aren't a lot to go around, to be fair.
Yeah.
There were enough, but then Oaken started
Right,
monopolizing
like
them.
when that happens, then it just kind of ruins it for everybody. I didn't want to say that in the middle of the draft, but I was kind of thinking that, like, come on, man, like let other people try him.
I'm glad he stopped at 6.
I am too. I mean, I don't think he ran out either. I think he could have got more, but he just
He could have.
stopped.
I believe
So
Samurott, the other Enamorus, Hisuian Sneasel,
I think
all those
Samurott
are
is
still on the
terrible.
board.
But the team with none of those, Jellyfish, kind of relatively new to our scene, right? Jellyfish is.
This is his 2nd season.
Yeah,
Like, this
relatively
starts
new to
12th
our season, but he is definitely one of our competitors. He locked up a semifinalist appearance, I believe, in either this or PDL. Like he's a good coach for sure. But
I think he's done it in both.
Yeah, but we're not talking about coach skill, Brandon, you dummy.
Who?
I didn't speak.
There is 2 Brandons here. I'm not just talking about myself. I forgot about that.
Oh.
My dumbass. Yeah.
No,
But
don't worry.
yeah. Kind of continuing the theme that I get to talk about the slowest teams. That's a lot of fun. But I also get to talk about the teams that hit really fucking hard. Because Rillaboom, Absol, Rotom Heat, Staraptor, Sawk is great value. Fucking Durant, for God's sakes. Nidoking, right? Like, a lot of hard hitters, but it's just so
Staraptor.
slow. Doesn't cap at Absol, and that's a Mega, so that's not a great cap. So what is that? Base 100s? Just Scar? No, because Helios is there too.
115 with Absol.
But what I'm saying is Absol can't run a Scarf, so
What's his fastest Scarfer
right.
is what he
Scarf
figuring
something
out.
faster than Heliolisk, and boom, you outspeed the whole team. Like that's
Grassy Glide.
Pretty not good. It is there to be 100% fair.
He does have priority.
He does have priority, and he has a good one. But you still it's not a great substitute for being so slow, I would say. But it's something and worth a note to talk about for sure. So I have absolutely no complaints to say about this offensive core. It's terrifying. Teams are going to struggle against it. I've got a little bit of beef with the defense. I think a core of Deancey, Drudagon, and Cursula, I'm just not into it. I know Rotom Heat's there and it can be defensive, so we'll add that. And also Staraptor can be pretty fat. But if you're running fat Staraptor, you're losing a lot of your speed. I almost feel the same way about Rotom, but it's a little more acceptable. But even then, like Rotom, Deancey, Drudagon, like why is that so terribly Scald weak? Like
He has a Slowbro,
And a Heliolisk.
but like the Slowbro.
yeah, no, I mean I was gonna say that I definitely saw Slowbro there, and I'm not tired. Listen, I was
No, you're
gonna
good.
I was gonna say
I figured you didn't see it.
I don't love how Rotom Heat was supported with some of his lower tiers. Obviously, Slowbro is fine for that. That's what I was gonna say, but I was rudely interrupted totally. No, but I also don't think Slowbro likes getting status too much, even if it's burn or toxic.
Yeah.
So that's why I was kind of bringing up the Skull thing. But the Heliolisk water immunity plus Slowbro is definitely valid. I should have looked at that. Not our first time looking at these teams at all. Don't worry. And I'm not like Peaches. I didn't get ready for my turn like I maybe should have. But yeah, it's a. I will just go back to say it's a really slow team. It hits pretty hard. Slowbro is doing a lot of heavy lifting for the defensive core. That and Cursula doesn't have great synergy for like great dark resist for Absol. Too much.
Yeah. True.
And then like Rotom Heat's a good fairy resist for Absol. And it's a good like ground or no, not ground. Fire, because it's a fire type. Fire resist for Rillaboom. There is synergy around it, but there's also some lacking stuff. So I feel like key matchups, and especially other teams that are really offensive, are going to give this team trouble. Just because, again, Slowbro's doing a lot of heavy lifting, and if you can counter Slowbro, you can probably break the rest of the team down. So there's a bit more of intelligent analysis than the last 15 minutes from me. I did it.
Also, Kamala, I'm sorry your Cursula was sniped, apparently.
That sucks for you, but Cursula is not fantastic, so don't worry about it. Anything else?
I will say I like that we're out of the whole. I have grassy terrain, so I'm gonna pick something that's like purposely earthquake weak, like Heatran. And he picks something earthquake weak, but it has levitate anyway.
Yeah. I never
Like his
thought
only
that was
earthquake.
fantastic.
His only earthquake weak mon is Diancie. He doesn't even, like. There's no poison type. Oh no, there's a Neoking. Never mind.
I feel like the intent is you're going to draft Heatran, and then you're like, well, I already have Rillaboom, but I want to use Heatran because it's Heatran. Then that's different. But yeah, I get that strategy of, and it's also good that he was able to find a special attacking ground type.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
you don't have to worry about the earthquake shenanigans. That does eliminate mixed Nidoking as a potential in matchups, but like, who cares?
I mean, you weren't getting sheer force from earthquake anyway. You can still run like a sneaky poison jab or a focus punch or something for Blissey.
Yeah. Earthquake Nido sucks
Blissey
anyway.
is so good that it got banned in another league we participate in, but we're not talking about that right now.
No, that's funny.
We are not talking about that right now. We're talking about DJ Coldcut now.
We are talking about DJ Coldcut.
My off-season partner in crime. So let's hear it for
as many crimes as I did.
Let's hear it for the. I mean, I did Clef Key crime someone. TCP would have been proud.
Hi.
But let's hear it for the Season 3 MVP, Mega Camerupt.
Yeah, we forgot to look through Tier 5 and we left it there.
Yes, we did, but I didn't forget to look at Tier 5, and I left it there on purpose because the competition was not great last season, and that's why it killed it. Not because Mega Camerupt is good.
Sure. It got 20 kills because we had bad competition.
I'm sorry, but I do thoroughly believe that.
Damn. All right. I gotta say, this is a really like, how do I want to put it? It's a very tight team. Everything has like other things on the team that will cover its weaknesses, and the main restricting factor is going to be the fact that you can only bring 6 mons every week. So there's going to be like one hole left open. right? Because he has like ground weaknesses with Magirna and Mega Camera that are completely made up for by Crobat, Latias, Rotom Wash, and Zarude even. And then he's got Porygon 2 to set up Trick Room for Mega Camera and Glastrier. But that kind of leaves him a fighting weakness. In comes the Dusclops that can also set up Trick Room, the Latias again, the Crobat. And you can kind of see that like everything on his team just sort of has like one of those like small synergies with one or two other mons where it kind of all just like loops around. You can even like look at like Zarude's bug weakness. So he's got him on top, Crobat. Crobat's gonna be Crobat's gonna be filling in a lot of those holes, I guess. But 130, it's a great speed tier. It's a great mon to have around. Cleaver gets Stealth Rock, yes.
Yes.
All right. And then Camerupt is the only other rocker, or
That
like
might be
hazard
true.
setter in general.
That is correct. This was my week 1 opponent. I can confirm that.
That is not great. He has lots of defog though, so if hazards like aren't his
Like
game, then that's
a ridiculous amount of defog.
yeah, and rapid spin too from him on top. So I guess if you're just planning on like defogging constantly, then that's fine. But there isn't really like a crazy like rock stealth rock weakness on his team either, so you don't really even need to defog that often. I guess just for Glacier if you don't want to run boots on it.
Cleaver.
Yeah. Very, very solid just on the whole build. I just think it could definitely benefit from a few more hazards and maybe just like another physical attacker. Maybe that's just me not believing in Zarude and having never seen Cleaver and just thinking that like Glacier, while it's a very solid mon, it's still just kind of like it's a bulky ice type, which isn't great on its own. It needs that Trick Room teleport setup. And again, you're kind of inviting in the fightings, and Dusclops invites in those knockers from the fightings. So it's not
Cleaver is base 135 attack, if you were wondering.
okay. That's solid. I mean, it's solid. It's one of those teams where I'll just have to see it in action to really, really truly believe in it. But it, like I said, the typing synergy is like top notch.
Yeah, and I was just messing around earlier. Mega Camerupt is good. We did accidentally leave it in tier 5. I just prepped against it week 1, and I had absolutely nothing for it. It just literally, like, I brought a specially defensive Blissey for the purpose of specially offensive stuff, and it just 3-shot it for fun. Like, it was crazy. So,
Where did you get a Blissey?
I meant to say
about to say,
Licky
is
Licky.
this
I did not
Timothy?
say Licky. I thought I said Licky. I'm pretty sure I said Licky. Did I say Blissey? I meant to say Licky. I'm
We have
tired.
it recorded.
I'm very tired. Licky, I meant to say. I brought a Licky and I got 3-shot. Blissey would have been crazy. No, but
Yeah.
I brought a Licky and I got 3-shot. So, I did have a very unfortunate Zarude Crobat matchup, so I am a little biased on the physical offense being bad. But in general, it's not. It really leans into the special offense for this entire team. A lot of its more potent stuff is going to be hitting
Yeah.
specially. So I can definitely agree there. And overall, it actually is kind of fat as well, right? Like, you got a little P2, got a little Rotom. Crobat can be a little fat. Latias can be fat and offensive because it's Latias.
Yeah.
And then Dusclops was actually a headache in prep as well, just because getting that knockoff on it, like in like mocks I ran, like getting that knockoff off on it was not as easy, you know, because it's anticipated and prepped around. And he does have 2 Eviolite users, which is definitely unfortunate. I like mentioning that, and it's not like he has too much that wants to lose its item to come in, you know, like with Porygon and Dusclops.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I just had a particular matchup where he didn't care to go into his Latias. It was what was his mock was. He just kept going into like a Colberberry Latias and just ate the knockoffs that I used. So it is what it is. But overall, this is a super interesting team. I'm also excited to see how it works. Eviolite users are a bit like double Eviolite can be a bit of an issue historically, defensively, and then maybe not a lot of physical offense, like Peaches said, but pretty good other than that. Astute analysis as always, Peaches.
Yeah, he's just gonna be prepping for like Assault Vest a lot, which is kind of like a double-edged sword because you know they're gonna want to run a lot of Assault Vest, but at the same time, it's not really good for you that they're running a lot of Assault Vest.
That's right. That's accurate.
Facts.
Next up, is this just do I call this him Cody or no?
I've been calling him Coded, I think.
Coded. We're gonna say coded.
All right.
All right, it's my turn, right?
No.
No, it's your turn.
I
That's right.
am
Very tired,
Coded,
guys.
who for some reason has a I'm not sure if it was intentional or not, but there is a very clear metal silhouette in his logo, which I always found interesting. Team-wise, though, I feel like drafting Sun with a Mega Scizor was a very interesting move, especially when I don't feel like your fire resists are the best. You have Dragapult, Seismitoad, and then I feel like you're going to be relying on what I'm not entirely sure what Bronzong is here for, other than just to be another rocker on the team. To be honest. Speaking of hazards, I believe your hazard setters are Gliscor, Bronzong, Seismitoad, and Crustle. So that's actually good for Gliscor because it did get spikes, so it's being relieved the pressure of having to run those rocks week to week a bit. You do have the mini Suncor going on here with the Ninetales and Venusaur. Not to mention, I believe Seismitoad also gets Weather Ball, which could come into play. Primarina gets Weather Ball as well. Dragapult is a fine speed tier, but I believe, unless I am mistaken, you go Dragapult all the way down to Ninetales, speed-wise, which is a huge, huge gap. Granted, 142 is not the easiest gap to fill in, but still, not being able to find any 110s at least is a bit of a yikes.
Mhm.
Defense-wise, I feel like you're going to be relying on Audino and Gliscor a lot because Scizor can run it, but I feel like it's better to give Scizor that flexibility to do whatever it wants week to week. I did completely miss Primarina when naming off Fire Resist, but that one's not taking a Flare Blitz in the sun.
Where's the sun coming from?
Ninetales.
He's on Ninetales.
I don't know why I thought that was when you said Ninetales. I don't know why I thought it was an Alolan. Yeah,
Oh.
No, it is very much Drought Ninetales.
Drought Ninetales. I see that now. Yeah, no, that's not great. And then that opens
Yeah,
up like Solar Beam too.
Yeah. Which I feel like should definitely come versus team because where the grass resists, it's Ninetales and Bronzong, and if you have a Solar Beam and Fire type, you're not bringing out Scizor versus that. This team might struggle a bit. It does have some powerful breakers. Primarina is gonna go ham most weeks. Obstagoon, it's decently hard. Stab Facade, you don't sleep on. Scizor has 150 attack, which we can't ignore. Special offense wise, it is heavily relying on Primarina though. Venusaur is going to want that sun if it wants to be a breaker. Dragapult is very much a cleanup mon. It's not going to dish out the big damage you want to. It's just going to be that speed that cleans up late game. Yeah, I feel like this might be one of the weaker teams. Sorry to say.
I'm not sorry. I'm fully unapologetic. There's just too many stacked weaknesses. Like we already mentioned the fire and grass weakness, which isn't great because it kind of looks like this team was drafted, and then at the end he was like, "All right, I got a tier 4 and like 120 points." I know that's probably not how it goes, but like probably when making a plan, he's like, "All right, let's just slap on Ninetales Venusaur because like that fills the points value that I have," and it really it really just doesn't help at all.
That
Like
is-
Venusaur
that is crazy.
Venusaur just gives him like a little bit of a like better kind of like speed tier to help make up for anything in that like 100 142 gap. But like even beyond that, Obstagoon and Audino are going to be relied on just to be his like ghost immunities, because other than that, he gets run over by ghost types and Dark a little bit too, although he has Primarina for that.
And Obstagoon. Once it's burned, it doesn't care about its item.
Oh well, yeah, but
Let's
there's
score 2, actually.
you mean just for like knockoff or
I
poltergeist?
think he was meaning only like pulse spam.
Yeah,
Uh,
I like Shadow Ball, Dark Pulse, like
Oh.
even that. And, like Obstagoon's not necessarily like looking to play around and take hits. It's looking to come like click Guts Facade and knock off.
I got you, bro. I know what you meant.
Yeah, appreciate it.
well,
But
I'm
yeah,
just a
like
dumb.
no, hey, we all get a turn at some point tonight.
Brandon's on the same.
Yes!
Brandon's on the same wavelength.
So true. But yeah, I think like this team just would have benefited from something like a Magmortar, like a bulkier fire type to come in and just like take on other fire types and then hit him back with something like an earthquake or something. It's just like there's just too many like shared weaknesses across the team. Be it the water weakness, the fire weakness, the ghost weakness. And now like his normal types are both weak to fighting, so you can even like factor that in, like seeing a fighting type come in. Blast through those, blast through Rotom Frost, have knockoff for the Pult, Fire Punch for the Scizor, Ice Punch for the Gliscor. Some like combination of those things.
All right, gotta love it. Also, I would just like to add that this man stole Dragapult in the second round. We're all so dumb for that.
I think it's the second time that's happened.
Yeah,
Where it
I can't.
Dragapult like is either banned or gets slept on in draft.
Yeah, why can't we? That can't happen. Like, I think it's a round 1 for sure.
ban. Who's
100%.
banning Dragapult?
I've seen it in a few leagues.
Understand.
I think
Either
it's
that
banned
or
in
it's just
Smogon
locked.
OU.
It's either that or it's just locked up number 1 every single draft I've ever participated in, except like this group.
Yeah.
All right, on to Jay.
Go ahead.
I like that I get to talk
Yes.
about it because it's my boy. Jay actually told me that he very much struggled with the budget of this league. Apparently, it was really hard for him to maneuver stuff. And I was like, yeah, when you start your draft with Shaman, Sky, Heatran, and Hydreigon, you're going to run out of points, right? Like, what all?
Were those?
What's up?
Do you guys have a place where I can look at pick order? That
Yeah.
sounds funny.
Should be.
I think it's draft and transactions.
Yes.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. But this is the Shaman Sky user. I think this is the most busted bond we have allowed. So here it is. Because yes, we banned Seed Flare, but we did not ban Air Slash.
It will be interesting.
So I think that this mon is going to be very stupid to deal with. So good luck with that. I literally think I drafted like Galele and something specifically for Shaman. So there it is. I'm really excited to see how he uses it with Heatran as well. It's not the first time that Heatran's going to get paired with a very offensive grass type, I suppose. Stacking a lot of ground immunities for it as well. I wouldn't say any of them are particularly fat. You know, like Shaman and Hydreigon. Wouldn't necessarily consider them particularly fat. But there is still like Donphan and whatnot. I feel like that Shaman, for the most part, is wanting a little more out of the team because it likes good pivots, it likes good hazards, it likes pretty good physical breakers, and this team really leads into the special side, I would think. Lycanroc's good. We just talked about a team that had a bad matchup to Lycanroc, so there it is. And Buzzwole is fantastic. Jury's still out on Mega Banette. We'll see. This is going to be the first time I think it's used in a Mystic season, so jury's still out. We will see the 2 weeks it comes if it does anything.
I think I'm the only Mega Banette believer in this, like in like the whole Mystic PDL group.
I want
I-
to believe in it. I like it. I'm
It-
rooting for Mega Man.
Did you guys give it Poltergeist?
It has
No.
Poltergeist.
Oh, it does. I didn't think we did. Okay, never mind. I like it
Okay.
more now.
Yeah, that Poltergeist from base 165 is fucking nasty.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Oh.
we nerfed the crap out of Manaphy, so I think it's bad now. And thank God we did too, because someone in this
Blame Game
call,
Freak.
someone in this call actually decided to sweep me with a Manaphy on my birthday, so that was nice. But this is it's like a up and around team, man. Like it's got not a ton of fat as well, and what we were talking about earlier was sustainable like defense. Like, doesn't this just have Roost Buzzwole? Am I mistaken? Or does I guess you could do like the rest Manaphy shenanigans, but we already spent. I just don't think Manaphy's great.
Synthesis Shaman. We sleeping on that?
I would say so. I don't
Or-
really want to rely on my grass flying type to take a lot of hits.
Roost
Damn.
High Dragons there, Wish Slurpuff, Mega Manette with Plane Split. You know, things that aren't like really the most reliable, but
Yeah,
they're
that's
not
Swallow
going to
Out
be
with
sitting there
Gluttony.
like toxic stalling something. But yeah, they have healing. It's just not like the best.
so. This team
best
is
monster
going to be
have it.
another one of those teams that are scrapping, right? Like it's going to try to get its pressure with Shaman. It's going to try to utilize Heatran and Hydra really effectively. It's going to lean into Buzzwole and Lycanroc to help break down like opposing Steel for like Buzzwole and opposing Flyers for Lycanroc, right? So, like I said, overall, it's just a very up and around team. And then Swalot and Furfrou are just bad. So there it is.
Whoa.
Um,
Hot take.
Yeah. is my boy Jay though, so I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I'm looking forward to playing with him.
Yeah, this is a really cool team. I think the Shaman Ice weakness is covered decently depending on what is using the ice moves. Like if it's an ice type coming, then Heatran usually is good against it because ice types, generally speaking, don't have great access to water or ground coverage. But if it's like a water type coming, then not so much the same story there.
Manaphy's there.
Yeah, if it doesn't have freeze dry, which good majority of them don't. So the Manaphy works nicely with that, and having flip turn and U-turn.
AV Swalot.
Sure, but I was also gonna add that he kind of has a ground weakness outside of his two ground immunities, and I guess the Buzzwole. Between like the Raichu, the Heatran, the Lycanroc.
Buzzwole might have to be defensive more than he expected.
Or
Yeah.
at least max HP. Like, I can't run speed that much.
No.
Yeah, just gonna need a lot of HP. Maybe like we see the Rocky Helmet Buzzwole with Roost and Drain Punch Leech Life sort of deal. Maybe it kind of comes like bulkier and it can run like bulk up just to give it some like sweeping potential.
And I would argue that it's not the best way to use Buzzwole. It's a good way.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you generally want to see it like come Scarf, Beast Boost, Sweep.
I like
something.
Sub
I
a
don't know.
lot too. I like Sub a lot too.
I'm not really
Yeah.
a Buzzwole user. I don't really like Ultra Beast.
It's kind of it's kind of limited with its like really
I'm not gonna
bad
say
defensive
Ultra Beasts
typing.
are bad. I just don't like them.
It's kind of limited with its really bad defensive typing, and it's not fast enough, I would say.
Yeah.
But
I will say, in Swalot's defense, he does get corrosive gas at least.
Oh, that's something.
that is Dravos' favorite move. Fun fact.
Hey, if you make Swalot work, like props to you. Notice how we haven't even like mentioned the Furfrou. Like
Yeah, I did. I said it's bad.
we're just assuming that Mon. Oh,
I said he has Swalot and
I'm giving it a
Furfrou.
lot of credit.
Furfrou will exist.
Furfrou will get dropped.
Furfrou will come 1 week, disappoint.
Listen,
and
man,
be used again.
listen. We always talk Revel in the bulky normal and good ghost type Mega Banette Furfrou. It's right there, dude. Like this is what I see
Where-
right now is discount Kofag and Snorlax. But like
Furfrou's not.
dollar
Furfrou's not bulky.
general.
The fur coat does not save it.
I think he meant Miltank.
No,
He'll tank with that.
I meant Furfrou.
Because this mon does not have a Spadef like Snorlax.
I was just using a fat normal type
like I said, I was just any fat normal type that came in my head plus a ghost type. We revel in that being a good core, and look, he just wanted to go budget for that core.
All right, I just opened Furfro's move pool. Its best normal stab is headbutt.
My
How do you
favorite
feel
And
about it?
my favorite move. Yeah, what are you talking about?
I thought it had like body slam or something.
You're
like,
fitting to
oh,
get you're fitting to get
wait.
flinched because I'm gonna run a super scarf and outspeed you.
oh man, the super scarf.
Wait, can
It
I save
triples
it?
your speed because this thing is too slow with just a regular choice scarf.
I mean, it's base 102. That's its best stat. Like,
Really, I
don't
thought this
need-
was slow. I see that's how
No.
little I know about Furfro.
I mean,
That's
you
its
don't really
best
need.
stat.
Yeah, I think I'd have to remember, but in X and Y, the whole like gimmick of this mon was like you like change its hairstyle, and it was like
Yep.
you could groom it and stuff. I
I've-
think if you had like a special groom where like you shave off most of the hair, it actually lost defense and became a lot faster.
I thought it had the defensive ability though, the fur coat thing. Does it not?
Yeah,
It does have
it has
fur
fur
coat.
coat. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's what I thought this thing does, and I definitely thought it was slow.
Yeah, no, it does that. It has some like just random
No,
like
for whatever
normal coverage
reason-
moves.
For whatever reason, fur coat mons can only have speeds over 100.
That is
I
interesting.
mean, hey.
All right, so last team, Inkfish.
Ooh, I get
Yeah.
to talk about my boy and probably roast him a little bit.
Do it.
All right. Speed tiers, very very nice. Darkrai, Mega Beedrill. You don't see that in many places. And then the Latios, like it's very very good high speeds and then very good low speeds with like Crabominable and Rhyperior. And even Registeel a little bit. Dunsparce is probably slow. Delmise is slow. Vaporeon's kind of slow. I don't see it just yet, but I believe between Vaporeon at like 60 and I think Moltres is 90,
Mhm.
there's a gap. That's not great. That's terrible, in fact. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong.
I love how
I'm gonna look up
I love how matter of fact you are about that. You can technically count Comfy because it's a fake base 100. I think it
I was
evens
gonna
out
say the
more
same
like
I mean,
thing.
I guess, yeah, you don't really run speed on that. You just kind of use
Yeah.
priority draining kiss, but I mean, that kind of just make it that just kind of means there's a gap between like Comfy's fake 100 and
It's not good. We'll say
Latios,
that.
right? Like,
It's not fantastic. We'll say that.
yeah. So
Could-
like those middle speed tiers are not great.
And I still think Latios Darkrai is not terrible. Never mind.
No, Latios Darkrai is really good.
Because I just
Like-
keep thinking Darkrai so fast, but it's 120, right? Or 125.
Yeah, I mean-
125.
Like getting a good mon at 120, like we say like the new normal for like top speed is like 120 to 130-ish, right?
Hard agree.
But like getting that on your team is not always easy. And
No.
he
No.
managed, and he has two of them on there, and they don't really share any weaknesses. In fact, Darkrai is an immunity for Beedrill on the psychic side. Beedrill quad resist fighting.
True.
Take that as you will, because it doesn't really have good defense, but it can probably live a Mach Punch.
It'll live in
So-
Aurasphere.
Yeah, exactly. Vaporeon's a good, just slow baton passer / flip turner for getting those two in, and that's kind of what the name of the game is. Get those two in. Does he have Trick Room anywhere? Because I feel like he would want some
I
Trick Room
think
somewhere.
Comfey gets it.
Oh, okay, that's a weird one, but sure. Go for it.
Latios might too.
I think Latios. I'll
Not
double
that you
check.
should run that.
I know sometimes the fast psychics just don't get Trick Room. Yeah, Latios does not get Trick Room.
No.
So it would just be Comfey, I guess. And then the rest of his speed control comes from Glare Dunsparce.
Let's go.
And then the Draining Kiss Comfey and Sucker Punch Darkrai are his priorities. That's not good. That's not great. So if he can, I feel like it's going to be a matter of the route he chooses to go, whether he wants to wall his opponents or bring a bulkier offense between like Rhyperior, Vaporeon, Delmise, Moltres, or if he just wants to do some do some destruction with Darkrai, Beedrill, and just have those two cleaners. Maybe Darkrai comes Nasty Plot, maybe Latios comes Calm Mind, maybe Beedrill gets off a Swords Dance or like a Fell Stinger and sweeps through that.
Hype.
Hey, Fell Stinger Beedrill is mega hype.
Beedrill gets Sword Stance?
Yes.
I didn't know
You didn't
that.
know?
I did not
Of
know
course.
He loves dancing with swords and then dying to whatever's hitting him.
that. I think that might have been Peach's moment. By him.
Yeah. I mean, that's all there is to it. I guess Calm Mind, Calm Fate. I don't believe in Calm Mind, Calm Fate anymore, though, because they took out Hidden Power Fire, so you just get uber walled by steals.
Oh, so
Get
it's
stored
embarrassing.
power.
For
Yeah,
those
and-
pesky steel types, stored power, yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course. My bad. This team also just like isn't really a fan of fighting steals. Like you have Moltres, and then you have Focus Miss on Darkrai and Throw on Beedrill.
It is really hard to say that about a team with Moltres, but you are right.
Yeah, like I mean, the steel types probably get Rock Slide. They can run if they want.
Earthquake for Registeel.
There's probably a teammate that wants to, knock off its boots, and then the steel type gets up rocks, and Moltres doesn't like that. So there's ways around it, but yeah, the Moltres is definitely just really heavily relied on, not only for its speed tier, because I feel like he's gonna have to run speed on Moltres just to make up for the gap he has, but also just for the steel types, for the fighting's a little bit too.
What's this man got for a well played Kaparaja?
Stop it. Kaparaja was almost on my team, then I came to my senses.
Then you remembered.
It's so bad. I want it to not be bad.
It's all right.
It's not all right. It's terrible.
I think it's all right.
You think it's all right because you can use Trick Room efficiently.
I don't really draft Trick Room ever.
Then
If I do, then it just like happens to be on like a slow like Psychic or a Kecleon or something.
you're gonna have to walk
You
me through
ref
that
won
process.
a quarterfinals in ESL with Kaparaja.
You're gonna have to walk me through that process. But either way, that's all the teams.
Are we actually not doing your guys' team?
If you wanna,
I don't have to. If you don't want to, I mean, what do you want to do, Lily? You want to go over our teams?
If Peach wants to dig into us a bit,
Do you want to do that? You just want to take this last
You know
few
what?
minutes
Yeah,
and just rip
fuck
into
it.
us?
I'll just solo your team.
All right, so stay tight. I lied. All right, we got a little more
All right.
content for you.
All right, Lily, you got ground weaknesses coming out your asshole.
yes.
Let's go,
flying-
dude. Let's
Your
go.
two flying types are both weak to rocks. They're super frail. They're gonna get fucking blown back. Your Mega Steelix is like your best wall for ground types. So that's where that's coming from. Fuck the Starmie. Starmie's frail as shit. Luminion shit. Shaman's actually kind of good, so never mind.
Shaman shit.
No, Shaman shit too, because that just incentivizes fire types, and it's not like you have a flash fire type Losion or anything. No, in all seriousness, no, your team is like okay. It has some redundancies like Coco, Sylveon. Sylveon synergizes with a lot of stuff. The Coco synergizes with nothing.
Yes.
It synergizes with the Komala because it won't let things go to sleep, and Komala is perpetually asleep. So technically, your Komala is woke when it's in electric terrain. But yeah, I like the Quillfish Hisui because it's in a Violet mon that is not weak to knockoff and in fact resistant to it. So there's like negative reason to bring knockoff against your team because I doubt you're ever running a Violet Cypher when boots exist. And yeah, everything else is like there's Mega Steelix, there's two fairies. If someone really wants to bring knockoff for that Quillfish, then like they can go for it.
It
I'm
happens.
probably just
Week
gonna bring
one.
taunt or setup. I would say is better.
Yeah, exactly. So overall, it's a solid team. There's like a couple of type redundancies that I personally would not be a fan of having. I don't get the Luminion, bro. You got a Spike Setter and you wanted an extra defogger.
He likes the mon, and I've tried to talk to him.
I mean, it's a pretty mon. Like it's cool. It's nice to look at. So at least
Got Roost.
Okay. I think it's frailer than Primplop without a Violate. But go off. Go off.
Listen, if you look at its stats, you'll notice it has 369s. Which
It's
clearly
his
means it's
favorite
God
fact.
tier.
It's his
All
favorite
right.
fact in the world.
All right, you got me there. That's nice.
This
That's all I
mon
can
triple
say.
69s.
It's nice. It's a water immunity for your Mega Steelix, I guess.
There it
just puts off
is.
the top.
There's some synergy.
Yeah, that's yeah.
You did it.
All right. Fellow Brandon, you picked like the most expensive Hisuian mon for what it offers. I
Uh-huh.
don't like the Hisuian Braviary. It's base 65 speed. What the fuck is up with that? That's terrible. That's completely awful.
Mm.
And it's frailer than normal Braviary and it's slower. Riddle me how that works.
You'll see. That's all I'll say.
All right. I know you don't have. I know you didn't play PLA, so you don't know about its priority special psychic move, but you don't get to use it anyway, so that doesn't matter to you.
Yup.
Looking at your team though, it's got a lot of things that want to just like come in, hit really hard, and then get out because they're all fast and frail, like Greninja, Darmanitan, Sneasler, Raichu, Mega Glalie, too, I guess. Braviary is frail, so yeah, I'll group it in there, even though it's slow. Whimsicott's pretty frail when you consider the 4 times poison weakness. Fortress helps with that a little bit. Fortress is weak to fire. You don't really have a fire weakness too much of anywhere. Overall, like it's not bad. I don't know. I just don't like Hisuian Braviary. Cool looking mon, complete ass. Adds to your dark weakness. There you go.
All right. Well, that was it. I'm gonna get a million kills with Braviary. I just drafted it.
Better.
I just drafted it because it hits extremely hard and it gets agility, so that's why I have it. But
Sheer force fucks.
yeah, man, it actually I think in a calc hit harder than Lando I.
Do you guys give it Heat Wave?
Yes.
It has heat wave.
Okay, that's something.
Yeah,
Ah.
I just think if I can find a way to mitigate the speed, it's gonna be one of the best special breakers in the game. For its tier. That's why it's 3A actually. I talked myself into it being 3A. I was trying to keep it down to 3B, but I was talking it up so much they're like, it's gonna be 3A now.
I just don't like that it's like weak to rock, ghost, dark, electric.
And so slow. I get it. It's got its challenges, and I didn't find a way to fit it week 1, but we'll end up seeing what I can do with it. Thank you all for watching. I'm gonna throw this up here probably tonight, so we should be seeing this the 17th tomorrow. With I exposed I like D&D because I didn't edit out anything, and you can see the time and all my folders. So feel free to roast me for liking D&D in the Discord server or comments. Lily sure does.
You'll have to roll for it.
Yeah. But thanks guys for watching, and have a great rest of your day or night.
Get off my lawn.
Yes. Take care, guys.